What's up? So if you're tuning in, I imagine you want to know the answer to the age-old question, does sugar-free Rockstar taste as good as the original? And I'm here to answer that question for myself and share my experience with you guys. So the reason that I even care in the first place if it does is because I've tried to cut sugar out, and cutting sugar out actually led to a lot of research about sugar alternatives and stuff, because I knew I'd still have sweet cravings and whatnot, and energy drinks were somewhat of a problem. And just sugar in general, and that kind of turned into this whole discovery of the keto diet, and I'm not going to get into that, but basically I'm pretty low carb right now, and I've cut a lot of carbohydrates out, and sugar is a carbohydrate, and it's kind of in everything, and carbohydrates are everywhere. Most bad foods actually are carbohydrates, so if you end up cutting carbohydrates out, naturally you end up cutting a lot of bad, cheap junk food out, and sugar would also be included in that decision as well. So anyway, in the process of cutting sugar out, which is what led to kind of a low-carb diet that I have now, I discovered a lot about sugar alternatives and tried to think of ways to deal with my sweet cravings in a way that just didn't suck. A lot of you are probably familiar with the taste of diet soda. There's kind of an associated aftertaste with diet soda that I would describe as unpleasant, and I think the identifying ingredient of that particular flavor would be aspartame, which is known to be somewhat of a bad or dangerous sweetener or sugar alternative. I think that's commonly found in stuff like Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. Actually, in this sugar-free drink right here, this sugar-free Rockstar, they use sucralose instead. And anyway, personally, I find sucralose to be a much more convincing alternative to sugar, and the research shows that it's actually maybe possibly one of the least harmful sugar alternatives, and it's not like sugar in itself isn't harmful. Like, yeah, it's natural, but we get it in super concentrated doses in energy drinks like this, and that is known to do terrible things to your body in high doses and high quantities consistently, right? Like, people get diabetes from having too much sugar, and also just like weight gain. Anyway, I might be talking a little bit too much diet stuff here, and I'm definitely not any expert or anything like that, but I was intrigued enough to find answers for myself that satisfied my sweet cravings without tasting like garbage, essentially. Yeah, so this is just one of those things. I've actually had a really long day, and I'm trying to fix a crazy sleep schedule. I've been up since 3 in the morning today, and I think it's about 7:30 right now in the afternoon, or evening I should say. Jeez, you can tell. And yeah, I'll just say right off the bat, I like both of these flavors. I haven't had this one in forever because this one has been, more than enough to satisfy the craving. And it's not a bad flavor by any means. I've had quite a few diet drinks out there, and I'm kind of picky about it. So I feel like if I like this drink and you're looking for a sugar alternative energy drink out there or something like that, this is probably one that you should give a try, but maybe you'll hate it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just going to compare these two and see which one I like better, I guess. See if I can really tell the difference. And I'll do my best to describe it back to you. So let me pull into frame here what I have to help conduct this experiment. Obviously I have the two Rockstars, and I have two separate plastic cups with ice in them. I'm kind of particular about how I like my energy drinks. I like them slightly watered down, but also cold, so I typically pour them over ice, room temperature, if that makes sense, right? And I have a glass of water here, or plastic cup, I should say, half empty or half full, depending on what kind of person you are, right? So this will be here to act as somewhat of a palate cleanser. I don't know if that's really going to work, but I'm attempting to mitigate any kind of bias I might have between the two. I'm not really sure if I should start with the sugar or the sugar-free Rockstar first. I might just flip a coin, or I don't know. But I feel like one might affect the taste of the other a little bit. With that said, yeah, I'll try to keep this as honest as I can. So yeah, I guess without further ado, let's get started. I might regret the decision to be having caffeine, but I'm probably not going to actually finish this. I'm not going to finish two Rockstars. That's insane for me. I actually know of this one guy who's always at the place that I got these. It's just the Target in my town. And he's always on his gaming laptop. I think he's either playing like Fortnite or possibly StarCraft, maybe both. I don't know. I don't really pay attention too much, but he's always just sitting there in the cafe at this Starbucks inside Target, and he's always just got like 4 cans of Rockstar chilling there by his laptop. And my God, 4 cans of Rockstar. Do you know how much caffeine that is? Because that is it's these ones too that he always has. It's 31 grams of sugar per serving, and there's 2 of them in a can. So that's like 62 times 4. And I've always seen him with like 2 or 3 cans empty. I imagine that he just sits there and and just drinks that much Rockstar and games, and it's insane, and I don't know what that's doing to his body, but it can't be good. I'm definitely not going to have more than one total of these, especially at this hour. And it's probably a terrible idea if he did. I guess I'll keep these in frame here, because I need something to help me remember which one is which. Because these look identical, don't they? Yeah, they do. Anyway, let's get the ice melted into the beverage a little bit. I'm gonna hydrate a little bit ahead of time. But yeah, I thought this would be the perfect time to conduct this experiment too, because I'm trying to stay up a little bit, maybe get a little more out of my day and just not go to bed ridiculously early. But I might just mess everything up and be all jacked up on caffeine and not be able to sleep till like 3 in the morning, I don't know. And if that's the case, then I guess I'll just edit this video and make lemonade out of lemons, so to speak. But yeah, let's see what happens. I feel like it's a really important decision which one I should try first. I'm gonna go with the sugar-free one. I'm gonna try that one first, right? I feel like that one's less likely to affect the sugared version than the sugar version is to affect the, you know what I'm saying. I feel like this one will have less of an effect on this one, so I'm gonna start with the sugar-free. Not bad. My friend actually, when I opened a can of these in front of him the other day, I don't drink Rockstar very regularly at all, by the way, I just want to say that, but every now and then I do like to have one. And sometimes you just want a little caffeine and that ridiculous, stupid flavor that these things have. But anyway, yeah, he said it smells like cough syrup, and ever since he mentioned that, I kind of can't get that taste out of my mind when I think about it. And it's definitely making me think about cough syrup a little bit right now, but I don't necessarily mind. It's just kind of a weird thing to associate a flavor of a drink you typically, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing to think about when you're drinking just a regular drink. These aren't quite cooled down as much as I want, that's why I'm still stirring them. Alright, let's try this one again. Alright, it's a little more like it. A little less cough syrupy. I find the flavor of these things to be a little too over the top. That's why I like to water it down by pouring room temperature energy drink over ice. That way it's cold and then slightly watered down. I kind of just enjoy the process of pouring a drink over ice and watching it melt. It's a little, I don't know. It's all part of the process. I'm making this sound like as sophisticated as wine tasting, and it's totally not. I'm not glorifying this in any way. I don't think I'm cool because I do that. It's just stupid. That's what it is. All right, so I'm keeping that flavor in my mind. Diet cough syrup, let's call it that. That's really not appetizing, but I do actually like it sometimes. Anyway, OG Rockstar with sugar, lots of sugar. See what we think. I haven't had this in a long time. Ooh, that's actually really close. That's definitely closer than I thought. It actually tastes more mild, if that's possible. One fun fact about sucralose, which is the sugar alternative in this sugar-free version of Rockstar, is that it's like, I forget what the exact number is, I'll pull it up for you, but it's like 120 or like 200 times sweeter than actual sugar. So the amount of sucralose that they use in a beverage to sweeten it in substitution of sugar is very minimal. Anyway, the only reason I'm saying that is maybe that explains why this one tastes a little more mild than that one. Maybe the sweetness is more intense in the sugar-free, actually. It's possible. It's possible, because like just another drop of this stuff would make a big enough difference, I think. I'm gonna have another sip of the OG Rockstar here. Okay. Just trying to keep that flavor in mind. Seems to have a little bit less of a cough syrup kick to it, which isn't necessarily good or bad. It's just the only thing, it's like the only point of reference I can think of to describe the flavor. That's why I'm saying cough syrup. Anyway, such a weird thing to associate with these. You know what? I'm actually feeling the sugar-free one a little bit more right now. I'm surprised that that's the result. I would have thought that, for me personally, it would have felt like this is a compromise, but not a big compromise. One that I would gladly accept to avoid dumping 62 grams of sugar into my body. But yeah, all the sugar-free stuff aside, just talking about pure flavor here, I think I might be enjoying the sugar-free one a little more. Let me try again. I mean, it's hard to say definitively, but I think the point here, the value of this is actually that I almost can't decide. So it's almost to the point where I should just get the one that I would rather be drinking, you know? I don't have to feel like I'm taking a compromise or a hit on the flavor or experience of the drink, I can just get the one that I would rather have, which for me is this one, and just happens to be the flavor I prefer right now. Yeah, the funny thing is that this one actually tastes watered down, which it kind of literally is because of the ice, but I don't really notice that one with this, so maybe the flavor is just more intense. Each of these cups has 5 ice cubes in it, so it shouldn't be more watered down. Huh, yeah, that's interesting. I'm surprised. I think I forgot to have my sip of water between the 2 flavors. Let me do that. I screwed this whole thing up. No. Yeah, now that water tastes kind of funny. I don't think I've ever had water immediately after having one of these. That's weird. There's like so much flavor and then just no flavor. Yeah, I'm feeling the sugar-free more. Still surprised with the results, but I'm really glad to have answered that for myself just because I've been curious. And maybe you guys have too. And I think what I'm going to do from here on out actually is maybe review all the Rockstar flavors and just give you my opinion on them. I've had a few of them before. I don't think I've had all of them. A couple of them were pretty terrible. In my opinion, I forget which ones those are, but I'll probably cross paths with them again if I do this video series more. Yeah, if that's something you guys would like to see, let me know in the comments. I'll probably just grab a couple of flavors that are similar to each other, because Rockstar seems to have like a theme of flavors and a couple of flavors within that theme, so I think it makes the most sense to compare the ones within that theme and go about the comparisons that way. So I think that's what I'll do next, but for this video, I'm going to have to give it up to the sugar-free version of Rockstar for tasting better, and it's just extra bonus points if you're trying to avoid sugar, that you can do it in a way that is a totally, in my opinion, convincing alternative to sugar. And if you guys are looking at any sugar alternative drinks out there, I would keep an eye out for sucralose, because for me, someone that's done some research and some experimentation on sugar alternatives, that seems to be the most convincing alternative to sugar. And there's a lot of different ones out there, but that's kind of the one that I keep an eye out for when I'm looking for sugar-free drinks. Also, let me know if you have any strong opinions between these 2 flavors. I'd really like to know what you think, because again, this is just my opinion and my experience. Everyone obviously has their own preference when it comes to taste, and this is mine. Yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say. I just wanted to try these 2 Rockstar flavors and let you know which one is better, and I think this one's better. So I guess that's pretty much the end of the video. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Again, let me know in the comments what you think about these 2 flavors, and if you guys want to see me do another video where I compare more Rockstar energy drinks. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you next time.